What's up, everybody? It's your boy TV. We actually got a few things to talk about tonight, but I'm uh I'm a little pumped up. I'm a little excited about the off season, and not just for Georgia. I think for college football as a whole. Um, I think there's a lot of big things going on. I think the whole deal with NIL is making it exciting, um, and so I think now it's just the what's next type deal. Um, um, so yeah, I think I know. I mean, we'll start with Georgia just because I'm a big Georgia guy. But we just saw Carson Beck. Um, we just saw him leave. What's up, Daniel? You're welcome to come on and talk, Daniel. I think I told you last time I would love for you to come on and hang out, or at least come on and talk. Come on and talk football. Talk about your favorite team, all that. There's a link if any of you guys want to join. But um, I think the biggest thing is, as a Georgia fan, and we'll talk about everybody. I just start in Georgia because that's what I know. But you just had Carson Beck go to Miami. Of course, he went to be with his girlfriend. But I mean, of course, yeah, he went to play football. But the dude just earned $10 million an NIL deal, money, and that's a lot of money. We know that. Um, and I think the crazy part about that is you're going to see a lot of not one and dones as far as going to the NFL, but a lot of one and I'm out. Who can pay me the most? So you might have a person play for three different schools. Yeah, they want to play in the NFL, but they're going to try to find the most money that they can get. And not every player is like that. And I know a lot of people have told me that. Like, not all these kids are focused on that, but they're kids. You flash money in their face like that, that's a lot of money. I know 10 million for Carson Beck, but I mean, even down to like the $100,000 a year to go play football and you don't have to spend any of it. Like, that's great. That's really good. Uh, so I think for Georgia, the biggest thing is trying to find kids who you think don't want to deal with that, or who are just gonna be there to play football. But that's also tough because you have the top players in the nation who think like that, who do understand that, hey, I am worth something. I do deserve money. Um, I even saw one case, which I thought was wild, where a kid, he's the number one or number two running back in the nation, for like 27, actually reclassed to 26. And it's a lot to do with NIL because he wants to get paid early. Uh, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to feel about it, but it doesn't matter what we think. Um, these kids are worth money. I just think there needs to be some type of stipulation or some type of contract or just something to help kind of keep it all under control. Um, I just don't know the best step or the best possible situation to where they get paid, but it's also not a staying for just 1 year somewhere and then moving on. So now you got kids playing for three or four colleges. And the biggest thing is, I know people can say, well, you're probably not worried about that, blah, blah, blah. But it's like the biggest thing that you're worried about if you're a college football fan is, I don't care about my team, in the long run. Like, you care about the development of these kids. So if you have kids that are really, really good and they go somewhere and they end up doing something, um, um, and they end up going somewhere, and all of a sudden now you're you're wondering, is like, how are they going to get developed? How are they going to play in the NFL? They went to Georgia for a year, but did they learn everything about being a DB or linebacker from Kirby? No. Then they went to Penn State for a year. Then they went to Ohio State for a year. Like, what did they learn? All we know is that was a talented kid coming out of high school. Did they develop? So I think you're not going to see any kind of repercussions out of this until 3-4 years after a lot of these kids get to the league and you start having a lot of bust. You start having a lot of these kids that can't make it because they aren't built up for success or for that second year or second contract that every NFL coach talks about, every college coach talks about. And this last thing I'll say about Georgia, I remember seeing this situation where we had a tight end who literally was the third string tight end at Georgia. And he just got his second-year contract last year from Atlanta Falcons, which was like 3 years for $21 million. And I'm like, dude, all because he knows how to block. Like, that's it. Yeah, he can catch out of the backfield, but I mean out of his position, but he's just a good blocker. And it's like, that's something you develop at Georgia. We hear that a lot. But if imagine him going somewhere else and trying to go to 3 different colleges and make only $400,000. Yeah, I agree. JC, you're welcome to come on. I wanted to make a stream where we had a few people come on and talk, but he said they need to hurry up and make it an NIL contracts where players are locked in for 2 years. I think 2 years is good. I think 3 years is a little too much. 1 year is definitely not enough, but yeah, I think I agree completely. It's just a little. I don't know. It's just a little. I guess crazy right now. I'm not saying that the money should be this one way or the other. It is what it is. But I don't know. I see with Georgia we're going to be okay, right? But I think of players. Think of these schools that are small schools that have one good player and he dips, or they have 2 good players and both of them dip. Was it Tulane, the quarterback, and then somebody else? They're out. So now, instead of you thinking like, okay, we're going to be good for the next 2-3 years, no, you're not. You're going to be good for this year, and then that's it, unless you can pay them. You got schools wanting to spend $20 million a year, and you got that small school that's like, well, we can spend $2 million a year. Yeah, that's not helping you, because you could spend all $2 million on one player and him leave you the next year. You could spend the $2 million on 7 players, and 2 of them get good. They leave you the next year. I guess not. I don't know. It kind of takes away from seeing some of these superstar small teams try to take out big teams. It's just you're just going to see the rich get richer, and the occasional bet going to Miami because he knows the job's going to be up for Battle, and then the DN from Georgia that went to Missouri. Everybody's like, what's he doing? Apparently, he got paid a ridiculous amount of NIL. He's going to be a starter for us, third string DN for Georgia. Both DNs in front of him are going to be drafted in the first round. Listen to that. Listen to how crazy that sounds. Jalen Walker, Mikael Williams, 2 of the top defensive ends in the nation, right? Probably 2 of the top 4. Going to be drafted in the first round, and the backup to them that still got playing time says, I'm going to Missouri. Are you serious? Why would you do? Because money is a real thing. And you got people in here, well, not everybody leaves for money. And shut up. Yes, they do. You leave your job for money, don't you? People got crappy jobs and they stay. Why? Because of money. But then they get a better offer. What do? They leave because of money. You don't go to another crappy job to get the same pay. Come on now. So, anyways, that's my thought about it. But just like I said, I think it's awesome for teams like Clemson who haven't used the transfer portal in a while, and now all of a sudden here they are about to use the transfer portal. So like I said, I'm really, really happy for them. Happy for people like Pete and them. Now it's just now it's just getting into that thought of what is next. And we need to see if we can get Ryan on here. Well, we'll see if we can get Ryan to come on and talk. So what I'm going to do is basically, if you will look in the comment section, you'll see the link that just says StreamYard, and you'll go in and just basically type in what name. Sign in stuff. Got you. Got it. Well, I think another thing is SEC struggled this year. Uh, you had that, and now all of a sudden the SEC is a basketball conference, right? I think that's what we're seeing. But yeah, Vanderbilt's like 15-4. Um, but it's wild because the NIL world has not affected basketball the way it has football, and a lot of that is due to the fact of how much money is in football. There's so much money in it. You literally have 12 to 15 games a year, and it makes the most money out of any of this. And people are like, yeah, but basketball has 20 something games, sometimes 30. Yeah, a football game at Ohio State pulls in 100 and what 10,000 people each game, and you're talking just ticket sales. Not even talking the highest ticket or the lowest ticket. Now let's talk about endorsements. Let's talk about the stuff that the jerseys, all the little things. But colleges are being smart now. They're starting to get a little smarter with how to raise more money. I know like Alabama a few years ago was asking boosters to send in more money, but a lot of these, now I remember Georgia had probably 7 or 8 meet and greets this year where they just host a come meet the players, come eat and meet the players, and boom, that's it. You got all these people, it's probably thousands of people, and they're all paying a quick $150 a ticket. And that's it. Oh, you want to meet the players behind the scenes? Well, then it's a $250, $300 ticket. That's it. The people that can pay it will pay it, and there's a lot of people that will pay that. Especially when you got these people paying $800 to $1,000 for just regular tickets. So that was the whole point of this, was just to come on and kind of talk NIL, and just kind of where I see it. I don't think it's wrong and it needs to be banned, but I do think that the stipulations on it, or there needs to be some type of, like JC said, NIL contracts, and maybe that's going to have to be done by the school. Maybe that's the school of like, hey, almost any of you guys, like the military, you can sign to go in for 4 years. Well, if you go 4 years, you get paid so and so. If you could decide to go 8 years, you go 8 years, you get paid a little bit more. If you go to college and do it, boom, all of a sudden now you get a higher rank, so you're going to get paid more. Once you get out of college, like maybe that's how an NIL contract needs to be. If I'm trying to recruit Ryan to my school, and it's like, Ryan, you're a 5-star, so this is what it is. You could sign the 1-year contract, and yeah, you're coming to your school of choice, but we'll pay you the $200,000 up front. Okay, but if you sign the 2-year deal, we'll pay you $500,000 over the next 2 years. And it's like, man, okay, I like the $200,000 over the first up front, but $500,000 over the course of or each year for 2 years, I'd do it. Oh, you want to go 3 years? Well, we'll make sure that you get 700,000. Like, there's got to be something in place to where somebody goes, man, hey, count me in. Or somebody's like, dude, I'm a dog fan, my whole life. Put me down for 3 years. There's got to be something to get people out of this. Oh man, I had a bad day at practice. So and so yelled at me. I didn't get as much playing time this game as I wanted. I'm leaving. Like, you don't have that. You're not forced to deal with resiliency the way that you had to be in the past. So one of these guys made a really good point. I want to say it was David Pollock. He said the way that you would eliminate all of it would literally be to just go back to you get 1 free year. That's it. You get 1 free year to transfer. After that, no more. He said, because then players would just think about it more. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I agree. You get 1 free year to transfer, and then it's like after that, then you have to sit out for a year, leading into the next. That's it. I'll shut up. Like I said, just wanted to see what you guys thought. So if you do come by this, just let me know. Let me know what you think. Just figured this was a lot easier than trying to make a 15, 20-minute video on my phone. Just be easier to go live and then post it like that. So love you guys. You guys be safe. Stay away from trouble. And it's caused complacency and mediocrity. That agreed. Like I said, there's a lot of downfall to it. The positive is people get paid. The negative is there's a lot more negatives. And if you're a really good player and you're thinking about the NFL, you're thinking about your second contract, which everybody knows your rookie contract is not the most expensive. You got people in college getting paid more than rookies in the NFL. But it's that second year contract when they're like, JC just signed a contract for 4 years, $145 million. And you're like, wait, that's a lot more than I made in college. Yeah, because you thought about it. Instead of bouncing around from school to school. What's up, Nate? Instead of bouncing around from school to school. So it's just a big, I don't know. It's just a big, I don't know. I can't even use that word. But it just sucks. And I think it sucks to me. And I guess from a personal standpoint, it sucks because there are a lot of kids out there who probably don't come from a lot of money. Who probably don't come from a lot of money, right? And they're going to turn around and, what's it called? What'd you just send me, Ron? Oh, I see it. But these kids that don't come from money, they're going to look at it and go, man, if I transfer here, I could get money right now. And it's like, yeah, dude, but if you're getting paid enough to help your family, it's just tough to explain that to a kid. It's tough to say, hey, JC, look, I know that they're only paying you $50,000 right now, and I know $50,000 is a lot, right? But then you got that school over there that just offered you $350,000 or $400,000 because they don't have many great players, and you go to Georgia and you're one of 50 great players. They're like, hey, man, if you come here, we'll give you $400,000. $400,000 to $50,000. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And it's not fair to that kid, to go, man, I'm going to stick with the, he said, I'll take it. Yeah. Like it's hard to blame somebody for trying to take that, especially the Missouri deal, because Missouri plays in the SEC. You're still going to get the chance to get drafted. But how much better would you be if you stayed at Georgia and went 3 years through their development? You have Georgia who had 3 Butkus Award winners in the last 6 years. Like, that's never been done. That's the best linebacker in college football the last 6 years. 3 times has been from Georgia. That's unheard of. So even if you're like, oh, man, I'm the 4th best linebacker in college football. Well, guess what? 2 of them that are in front of you play on your team. Like, that's it. That's the part of the NFL where now we're seeing all of our guys. Nakobe Dean, Roquan Smith, Nolan Smith, like all these linebackers out there who are just, they're beautiful, right? Pause. They're beautiful at the game of football. So anyways, I'm going to shut up. Nate the Great came in here and said, what's up, and then left, right? Because all he wanted to do was come in and take the snacks on the table and then leave. Sorry, Nate. I'm still bringing more snacks for next time. But also, congratulations to Nate. Y'all, we found out he had a girlfriend. And I don't know how to feel about that. Because how Nate get a girlfriend, but I can't? What am I doing wrong, guys? And anyway, that's another stream. All right. I love you guys. I'll see y'all later.